morning. Welcome to our show. I'd like to welcome Bill Brooks, who is considered Chili Bill. He's from, well, Chilibill's Kitchen is the name of your show, isn't it?
Chilibill's Kitchen.
He also has a cook show that originates out of Sedona, Arizona. He's the author of a wonderful cookbook, if you like chili and barbecue and southwestern cooking. The name of the book is If You Like It Hot. And if you like it hot, stick around for today's show, because we have the most delicious barbecue sauce that I've ever tried in my entire life. And I'm a big barbecue eater.
Thank you.
Yours is the absolute the best, and you're going to find out where he got that special recipe too. Also, another recipe you're doing. What else besides the barbecue?
We're going, since we've got cowboys out in the audience today, we're going to do cowboy corn pie. My old grandma's recipe. Used to feed a lot of cowboys with that.
Well, that's going to be delicious, too, and it has cheese and lots of good stuff. You mentioned the audience. Let's say hello, because we do have Cowbells and Cattlemen. How many are from out of town? Let's see, we had Iowa. When we have Iowa, where are Detroit? Someone said Detroit, Michigan, and places like that. Indiana. Welcome to all of you, and I know that there's a big Cattlemen's meeting going on right now in our city, and we have the perfect person, because you are a flying cowboy.
Well, I guess you could call me that, yeah.
Bill has an extensive background as a pilot and as a cook. He's combined both of those talents, and we'll be sharing that with all of you today. Bill, I got to ask you one question. You said there was something interesting about why a cowboy wore this kind of a shirt. What's the story?
Well, of course, in the old days, you know, we all had those big, long beards, and we were out, not close to a bathtub for several months at a time. And so the old cavalrymen used to keep a clean underside on their bib, and when it became time for inspection and so forth, they'd turn the bib over, and lo and behold, they had a clean shirt on.
Hey, that's a great idea. See, we can adapt that nowadays. We could use some of that help. We'll be back. I hope you can get your paper and pencil, because the recipe for the barbecue sauce has approximately 82 ingredients. No, there really are a lot of ingredients to make this barbecue sauce, but it'll be worth it, and you said it'll keep for how long?
Oh, I've had it in the refrigerator for 8-9 months, no problem whatsoever.
Oh, as long as it's not moving around, you know it's okay. We'll be back with Bill Brooks and barbecue recipe after this message. Bill travels in style. Is this your toolbox for a cook?
Yeah.
I mean, look at all these goodies that you have separated out, knives and spices and a big old wooden box. Let's get started, though, with the recipe. Now, Bill, I promised our audience that I would tell them the unusual way you got this recipe for barbecue sauce.
Well, years ago, there was an old black fella here, and he had the best barbecue in all of the Southwest, we thought. And so he wouldn't give me the recipe, and I'd eat there 3 or 4 times a day. And so I just would watch him and see what he was putting in. Well, I couldn't really get the amount of ingredients because he was a pretty cagey old guy. So one day after he made his sauce, I went out to the garbage bin and I just counted the bottles and the cans and so forth. And that's how I came to have Chilibill's Garbage Can Barbecue.
Now, the person, some of you that are in this area might remember, was Tucker's Barbecue. And it was wonderful.
That's
I know.
right.
Now, you went through the garbage can, you got the ingredients, and after you made it, did you get him to test it to see if it was authentic?
I took a jug of it in for him to try it out, and he said, this is my barbecue sauce. Where'd you get it? And I said, oh, no, that's old Chilibill's barbecue sauce. And then, of course, we had a big argument, and I admitted that I would call it Tucker's barbecue sauce.
Oh, that's nice. Well, let's get started on Tucker's barbecue sauce. And anybody that shares a recipe has a warm spot in my heart, because I think that that's nice to share recipes. And you Cowbells, I know you do that a lot too, and I think that's great. To start out, though, Bill, I'm going to, if I can help you, because you got a lot of ingredients, and I'll be reading these to our viewers at home.
Let's start out here with the tomato juice. That's the basic ingredient. And the reason why we use tomato juice is we want to cook this down.
Yeah, it's going to reduce down.
That's right.
Because it simmers about an hour, doesn't it?
That's right. I like 2 hours, really, but we can't do it here today.
No, well, we won't be able to do that today. Now, to that, you're going to be adding, when he gets that all added, we'll be also adding 2 bottles of ketchup. Just 2, I think that's 14-ounce containers. Yes, 14-ounce containers.
14 ounce.
Of ketchup. And that's
let's see
good.
if they'll go out here. Yep, I shook them up before we started.
That's a smart idea. If you can't get it out, just go ahead and stick a knife into a bottle of ketchup, and that'll help it release just that much easier. Also, you're going to be using about 1/2 bottle of liquid smoke.
All right.
And that's
there
about
we
3
go.
ounces.
Now, of course, in the old days, you know, they wouldn't have fooled around with this liquid smoke.
Yeah.
It had to be the real thing over the thing, but we're going to try to do it in the microwave today.
Oh, great. In a microwave. That's wonderful. And then a bottle of A1 sauce, a whole bottle of A1, a small bottle of A1 sauce.
Okay.
And again, writing down from at home, 4 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce.
Boy, you can pronounce that. I can't do that.
Well, I've been working on it for 6 months.
How
Thank you
about
for
just some
noticing.
Lee and Perrins?
Okay, that's easier, isn't it? So 4 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. And it calls for half a pint of port wine. Do you use cheap stuff? Does it matter?
Cheapest stuff you can get. I'm not going to show you the label
Oh,
here.
okay.
But it really doesn't make any difference after it cooks in there.
Okay,
So
so
we're just going to kind of guesstimate this just a little
right.
bit here.
half a pint of port wine. Boy, you really do like the port wine.
Well, just remember, it cooks down, and
Half
the
a
alcohol...
pint is only a cup, Bill, but that's okay. We
And
just
the
add it.
alcohol, you know, leaves in the first 15 minutes.
That's true. That's true. Okay, 1 tablespoon of garlic salt.
1 garlic. Okay.
Tablespoon of garlic salt.
There we go.
And
Got it.
also a tablespoon of meat tenderizer, and you use Adolph's.
Yeah, any good one will do, but, you know, Adolph's a pretty good brand. And 1?
Mm-hmm. 1.
Okay.
And is this going to, and we'll find out later, is it going to marinate in the,
Yes.
before you cook
Normally would marinate it overnight. I like to marinate it
it?
overnight.
Yeah. And then a tablespoon of Tabasco sauce.
Okay.
Now, this isn't hot, Bill. I was surprised because when I saw that it used a tablespoon of Tabasco, I thought, wow, but it's not a...
Well, you know, I had to cool it down for you Southerners down there.
Thank you very much. We eat a lot of barbecue.
I know you do.
Yeah, it's popular in the South. And 4 tablespoons of black pepper. 4 tablespoons?
4 tablespoons.
That's a lot of black pepper.
Just remember now that this is a marinade, and so therefore, you know, you're not going to be eating all the black pepper.
I don't think I've ever used that much black pepper in anything
Well,
on
black
purpose.
pepper is a tenderizer also.
Is it really?
And you have to realize that the old black people that invented this type of barbecue, they couldn't afford the good meat, and they called the brisket the junk meat.
Yeah.
Well, nothing's junk nowadays in
Yeah.
meat, but this is how they would tenderize the meat.
Our cattlemen are telling us how inexpensive beef is.
That's right.
They're saying it's very inexpensive. Okay, a half a tablespoon of either cumin or comino.
Comino is the Spanish pronunciation, and the cumin is the English.
Okay.
1?
1/2 tablespoon. 1/2 a tablespoon.
Well, I'll just...
Half a tablespoon.
I'm pretty good at guessing there.
And then you need 2 tablespoons of oregano.
Oregano, or oregano.
Oregano, okay.
You remember the old Galloping Gourmet, don't you?
I'm not that old.
Oh.
I'm kidding. Yes, I do.
2 of them?
Yes, 2 tablespoons.
Okay.
And he is great, too,
Yes,
by the way.
he is.
A tablespoon of salt.
And a tablespoon of salt right here in
Could
my
you leave
little...
that out if you were watching the
Oh,
salt?
you betcha.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've had to cut down on my salt, too.
Yeah, most
you
of
know,
us have
when
to.
you get over a few years of age.
I don't know what you're talking
Now,
about.
what do you want?
Why are you looking at? About a half a tablespoon. It
All
calls
right.
for a tablespoon, but let's just cut it down.
All right.
Okay. Now, half of a cup of Wesson oil.
Oh, good old Wesson oil.
Half a cup of Wesson
All
oil.
right. Let's see. I'll go ahead and measure that. We don't want to get it too greasy on us, huh? But you
No.
have to have this for the marinade.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And then 2 teaspoons of horseradish. Now, I don't like horseradish, and I love your barbecue sauce.
You'll never know the
I know.
difference.
Really. I was amazed when I tried it because y'all just don't know how good this is when you try it. It's the most wonderful barbecue that I've ever had. The last time I had barbecue almost this good was in Indiana. Didn't someone in our audience say they were from Indiana? Well, I got barbecue in Indiana one time when I was a college student. That was the best I had ever had until I had Bill's. And it reminded me of Bill's. When I tried his, I thought, that reminds me of the Indiana barbecue. Okay, a tablespoon of, you use McCormick barbecue spice.
All right. Any good barbecue spice will do, of course. Now, this is 1.
1 tablespoon, yes. 1 tablespoon of McCormick barbecue spice. And 2 cups of brown sugar.
Yeah. I like the darkest you can get.
The dark brown.
Yeah.
Okay, the dark brown sugar. All right, and then you can use 1 tablespoon of dry mustard, but you're using the wet mustard today.
I'm going to cheat today because I couldn't find any dry mustard.
Couldn't, I mean, you know, I had to borrow some from my neighbors the other day. I didn't have any either. For some reason.
You used to be able to find that all the time. I